Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see your deck featured on the channel, hang out with me and the amazing BoshNRoll community on Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, or book an individual coaching session, check out the Patreon and YouTube member links in the video description. Use the code BoshNRoll to get 10% off the best Magic apparel on the market at coalesceapparel.shop. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to order cards from tcgplayer.com, or play any deck, anytime, with a Magic Online loan account from cardhoarder.com. Thanks again for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Brady, I am playing a hybrid of one of the best play patterns in Magic's history, which is Standstill with lands that kill your opponent, and one of the most toxic in Magic's history, which is Lin Sivvi Rebels. I'll start with the Standstill half. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you may know I went on a deep run with playing Sharkstill decks for a while when Ikoria first came out. That was a BoshNRoll signature deck for a while before Bant took over that slot. Basically, the way this works is Standstill, 2-mana enchantment. When a player casts a spell, sacrifice Standstill. If you do, each of that player's opponents draws 3 cards. You want to be able to play a game plan that forces your opponent to cast a spell into Standstill, and you get your draw 3. The ways we can win the game or advance the board state without casting spells are Saga. That's a land. Does not cast any spells to do that. When Saga pops at the end, Currency Converter, new card, or newly available on Magic Online anyway, can create 2/2 creatures. This is a sweet one. Let's spend some time talking about it. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. 2 tap, draw a card, discard a card. Tap, put a card exiled with Currency Converter into the graveyard. If it's a land, create a treasure. If it's a non-land, make a 2/2 black rogue. This can loot your spells into better cards and also into rogues on all under Standstill. Also, Currency Converter doesn't care how you discarded it. Cycling Shark Typhoon is discarding Shark Typhoon. So you get the shark, you draw the card, and you tuck Shark Typhoon under the converter to get an extra 2/2 out of the deal later on. Or immediately. That's how Currency Converter works. Currency Converter also just randomly enables the madness cost on Big Game Hunter. This is part of our Rebel chain, but it's also a madness card. So having a loot in the deck is pretty exciting. What's up, Big Game Hunter? All right, that's Currency Converter. And Retrofitter Foundry can also generate creatures under Standstill, and you could search up Aether Vial, start taking up, and start putting in creatures from your hand, all under Standstill. Shark Typhoon, previously mentioned, you could cycle to make an XX blue shark token. This creates bigger and bigger creatures while gaining card advantage, all under Standstill. We got a lot of ways to pressure that. And then Hall of Heliod's Generosity. 1 and a white tap, put target enchantment from your graveyard on top of your library. Notable enchantments in the deck include Standstill, Saga, and Shark Typhoon. All pieces of the Standstill lock engine can be recurred with Heliod's Hall. Now let's talk about the other half of the deck. We have a Rebel chain built in. If you weren't there in Mercadian Masks, I was there, but as like a child, like watching from the sidelines. I didn't actually play this block constructed format. That was so horribly toxic. Rebels are a mechanic from the Masks block where each Rebel has an activated ability that can search your deck for a Rebel that costs 1 more than the Rebel that you have. Promotion Sergeant is the common in this cycle, or one of the commons, the base of the chain. For 1, you get a 1/1, 3 tap, search your library for a Rebel permanent with mana value 2 or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Your Rebels that cost 2 or less are Whipcorder, which is only peripherally a Rebel. This was, I don't remember if this was a Rebel in Onslaught or if it was added later, but it's just a creature removal, like board control thing you can do under Standstill that I put into the Rebel chain, but doesn't have the Rebel ability itself. Blight Speaker, however, does. Planar Chaos, Draft, Staple, Blight Speaker. 2 mana, 1/1. Tap, target player loses 1 life. That's a way to pressure your opponent under Standstill. or on any sort of stalled board. And then 4, tap, search your library for Rebel, permanent with mana value 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield. That gets you Mirror Entity or aforementioned Big Game Hunter or the Queen of Rebels herself, Lin Sivvi, the Defiant Hero. She has X tap, search your library for a Rebel with a Rebel permanent card with mana value X or less, put it onto the battlefield, and 3, put target Rebel card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. So you work your way up to Lin Sivvi. Lin Sivvi starts chucking Big Game Hunters and Blight Speakers and Whipquarters around. Mirror Entity, when you get that, you could just sink all your mana into it, and because we're a Standstill deck, we're likely to have a lot of mana. You could just start elbow tapping, making your 2 to 5 creatures, however many you have in play, make them 7/7s, make them 9/9s, like whatever you got, pile it in. Works with Currency Converter and Retrofitter Foundry as well. All these random tokens laying around just become huge creatures with Mirror Entity, and this is a 2-to-roll win condition. Training Grounds is in the deck as a 2 of. It can shortcut your Rebel chain. Activated abilities of creatures you control cost up to 2 less to activate. Can't reduce the cost to less than 1. The list that was originally submitted to me had a lot more Rebels in it and a lot more Training Grounds in it. I sort of split the difference between a functional Legacy deck and having a Rebel chain built in. I told Brady I was going to do that when I took the deck on. Don't worry, this isn't a surprise. But I left a couple Training Grounds in because it's definitely powerful if it's around, but it's not a card you ever want to draw 2 of. Though Currency Converter helps when you draw redundant copies of Training Grounds. And I want to tell you all, I went down a dark path when I saw that 4 Training Grounds were in the build that was originally sent to me. I had versions of this with, instead of the Shark Typhoon and stuff, I had Eldrazi Displacer and Drowner of Secrets, or Drowner of Hope, not Drowner of Secrets, Drowner of Hope, because that's infinite 1/1s and infinite mana with Training Grounds. I also considered a Spawnsire of Ulamog, which is a 1-card combo with Training Grounds, or, well, 2 if you count the Training Grounds. It's a 2-card combo with Training Grounds, but cooler heads prevailed, and I did not build in a secondary insane Training Grounds package. I just cut 2 of the Training Grounds and made it a tool instead of a plan. And the rest of the stuff around here is just a blue-white control deck. We got a Narset, some Wandering Emperors, of course, Brainstorm, Ponder, Force of Will, Prismatic Ending, Swords of Plowshares, all the things you'd expect there. The sideboard, I'm just taking gigantic swings for the fences, 4 Deafening Silence, 3 Rest in Peace to combo with the 3 Surgical Extraction, 2 Plague Engineer, and a Shadow Spear when I gotta beat creatures, and a Force Negation to round it out. In my 80-card deck, I just decided what I'm most worried about, which is combo decks. The main deck of Sharkstill decks should be pretty solid against creatures anyway. Just like the way that these decks are constructed. This one's a little softer because it's full of Rebels instead of Supreme Verdicts and cards that I would normally be using to close up creature matchups, but we should be pretty stable in those situations anyway and just dedicate most of the sideboard to combo. And there it is. This is Rebel Still from Brady. Let's try it out. I'm on the draw round 1. I have 2 Mirror Entities, which is something you never want. Like, you basically never want to draw this card. I'm going to mulligan. This isn't pretty, and both Mirror Entities are here again. I only played 2 in this 80-card deck, and I've ended up with both of them. I'm not going to go to 5 here. I have 2 draw steps to find a land before I'm disappointed. And the deck does play a lot of lands. Now I have a choice of leading on Hall and giving myself a chance to get tokens out of Urza Saga, or just lead on Saga, start working towards Aether Vial. But I'm going to lead on Hall. I want to actually get creatures out of this Urza Saga if I can. This hand's not doing much else. I think it's a Volcanic Island that didn't have a 1-drop or a 2-drop. This is probably Jeskai or Grixis. Got there on the land. Love to see it. Urza Saga. Let's go. Got some action on the fetch land over there. Please play Standstill. Jeskai it is. Well, we're not getting Blood Mooned. Might get Narseted. Yeah, there's Narset. That's alright. Doesn't stop Urza Saga. Rest of Iteration. Alright. Just hope my day doesn't get undone. Ooh. No, I want to wait on that. I want to max out the payments that are going to come out of each Urza Saga. Because if I play the other Saga now, then that one only gets to make one construct before it's gone. Alright, don't Days Undoing me. Brainstorm and EI in hand. If they had the Days Undoing, they wouldn't have activated Narset. Or maybe they would. I don't really know. I guess if they were looking for protection for Days Undoing. Oh no, they're tapping 3 mana. Mentor might be worse. Not a fan of that either. Okay, so I can just plow Mentor. Or I can start piling up constructs. I'm going to go for constructs. If they have Swords to Plowshares here, clear my construct, make a token that's rough through Aether Vial. Good stuff. Make another token. It looks like we're getting plowed here, or something's happening. Or they're just fetching around Pithing Needle. I guess that's a reasonable thing to do. Okay, Vial. I think I want Currency Converter. It's Currency Converter or Retrofitter Foundry now that I drew an Aether Vial. I have to do my converting on their turn. That gets around Narset. Yeah, I think I'm in for Converter. Play another Saga. Play Vial. I have a 4/4. If I attack, they need 2 spells. Like, if they Swords to Plowshares, my other construct, they get a 3/3. They can trade with my 3/3. Alright, they're just going for the one that's attacking. That's what I thought. Still worried about this Mentor. It sucks that the way the mana played out, that Mentor got to come in on a turn where my white mana was otherwise occupied. Maybe I should have taken the time off, because I have another Saga coming. I have Aether Vial popping out. Yeah, I should have killed Mentor. Huge mistakes were made. I was just so excited to make my constructs. Oh no, Prismatic Ending as well. We know they have Brainstorm and EI in hand. More spells are coming. Snapcaster. I'm just going to concede. This deck takes a long time to win, and I'm so far behind this Mentor. I'm going to just get started on game 2. I should have plowed the Mentor. That was a mistake. I don't know why I thought I would be able to overpower a Monastery Mentor when I knew my opponent had EI and Brainstorm, neither of which they've even cast yet, by the way. These are all just removal spells and Snapcasters. Sheesh. All right. Tighten up, Brian. What do I want to do here? Plague Engineer and clean up a Mentor. That's the closest thing to a sweeper that I have in this build of the deck. And the rest of these cards don't really help. In Rest in Peace, we just saw a Snapcaster, but we also play Hall of Heliod's Generosity ourselves, so probably not interested in that. Whip Quarter, they're not going to have one big creature to attack with. Whip Quarter is mostly like a Murktide Regent stopgap. It's probably not even good enough for Legacy. I just wanted another Rebel somewhere in the deck, something that did something different. Nile Spellbomb does have text because we've seen the Snapcaster. I'm actually going to cut a Swords to Plowshares, even though we just lost to a creature, because they're not going to have that many creatures in the deck, and I don't want to flood out on things I can't leverage. I could put in another Force of Negation and fight the Planeswalkers that way. Yeah, I'm going to try that. They're going to have Red Blast and we're not, which is going to be a really tough thing to overcome in this control matchup. This hand at least like does something with Blight Speaker. I'll try it. I'd rather see a Standstill, but this isn't Oops All Spells. You don't just like mulligan functional hands for the nuts. And I'm not going to play Currency Converter. I'm not going to give them an easy Prismatic Ending. Are you ready for what I'm serving up here? I don't think you are. I'm not going to play around back to basics. They might have a Ruination in the sideboard, but they might not even go for it. Might not even be in the deck. I don't know. They didn't put a single basic land into play game 1. There was a long pause while they read that one. They've either never seen it before or haven't seen it since they drafted Planar Chaos, and they're like, oh, I remember that being good, but not so much here. And to turn Brainstorm aggro. Play Standstill. Oh yeah, we're untapping with Blight Speaker. Powerful magic. Now I'm going to play my Converter. I have the 2 mana to loot with it. I'll at least get 1 use out of it. And I'm just going to pass the turn. Tapping Blight Speaker and attacking with Blight Speaker are basically the same thing. except you get more. You don't risk a Snapcaster Mage or anything with using the activated ability. It's chill. Another end of turn Brainstorm. Yeah, they didn't shuffle the first one. I wonder if they kept a one-lander and they're just spinning the wheels out of it. Important to note that Blight Speaker is target player loses 1 life, not deals 1 damage to a target. So if they play like Teferi and bounce Blight Speaker, I don't get to ping Teferi on the way out. Be sick, just 2 mana Prodigal Sorcerer. The white mana is accessible. And there's Teferi. Got it. Okay, you're going to lose a life on the way out. Bounce this right in time, right on curve, before it gets to do anything else. Going to loot in the end step of the value. I'm going to discard Caracas, as much as I would like to put a creature under there. I kind of like all the spells that I have. Ooh, that's a good spell. Okay, I'm going to play Narset first. See if they have the force for this. Or if we're just in Red Blast mode. Getting it in now while their red mana's tapped is nice. Force Pitching Ponder. My Narset is gone. Gonna cast the Blight Speaker. Get to make a treasure. Redeploy the speaker. I think I want to start respecting the possibility of Ruination. I don't think they brought it in, if they have it at all, but I can afford to respect it, so I will. This deck has basics. I'm actually really worried about them clearing my currency converter with Prismatic Ending or something, because my hand is just garbage right now. They have an EI. I do have 2 engines online, though. I can get Lin Sivvi or Mirror Entity with Blight Speaker if I untap with it, and Currency Convert if I don't. I guess Caracas could have been protecting Lin Sivvi from removal, but that's like a lot of mana. There was going to be a window regardless, unless I draw a land now. I don't even really want Lin Sivvi, though. I want Standstill. 2 mana, Prismatic Ending. I love that Blight Speaker is the scary card compared to this Currency Converter. Not saying it's wrong. I'm just enjoying it. Okay, I'm going to convert now. Did they forget to activate Teferi? No, it bounced. Okay, no. I lost a turn cycle in my head somewhere. Draw and discard. I'd love to find a Standstill here. Urza Saga would be pretty good too. Either Vial. Oh, that's the thing. If I discard the Plow, I'm running out of things to insert Mentor with. Alright, I'm going to discard Aether Vial. I have enough mana at this point that if I need to put a creature into play, I can just do that. I'm going to get another basic island here. And I'm going to Prismatic Ending Teferi. I don't really care about Teferi this turn cycle. I care about it 2 turns from now, when it can bounce again. My Prismatic Ending has been on the stack for a very long time. Like, to the point where I suspect my opponent has walked away from their keyboard, not that they're thinking about it. And they just lost connection to the game. Yep, okay. Good read. I'll bring you all back when they return. My opponent has returned, and their Teferi's gone. Cool. So they have 6 cards in hand to my 2, and my 2 are reactive removal spells, which are not where I want to be in this matchup. You really want to draw your Standstills, Urza Saga, Shark Typhoon, all that kind of stuff. Not what I have drawn here. Okay. It's starting to come together. Urza Saga, get in. I'm going to pop Yori into my hand. And I can either loot again or poop out a 2/2 this turn with Currency Converter. I just like the feeling, the texture of this game between when I said my hand's not really doing anything and immediately drawing Urza Saga. Like, I just feel like I've gone from miles behind to, like, actually doing something. I still don't think I'm ahead, but I'm not shields down anymore. I'm not just farting around. I'm attacking with my Rogue. Excited about that. Good shit. I can hardcast Force of Will. I could pitch cast Force of Will losing the Yorion. I have enough mana to convert currency and activate Urza Saga. I really want to use my mana. I'm going to try not to hardcast Force of Will this turn. There's not a whole lot of like individual spells I'm mega scared of out of this deck. Plus just ramming a force into Red Blast, not really where I want to be. All right, I'm going to convert first. Oh, Remotion Sergeant. Sorry, homie. It's you. We're off Rebels right now. That's better as a 2/2 rogue. That's an early gameplay, and we are firmly in the mid transitioning to late game right now. A Ponder. Saga, make another construct. I'm getting Retrofitter Foundry here. I mean, is Retrofitter Foundry more of the same with Currency Converter, or is it extra? Because I could get Nile Spellbomb, just put the Kibosh on Snapcaster Mage, and also draw a card. Actually, kind of into Nile Spellbomb. And I'm going to Ponder. Pretty excited to see this land. Am I? Do I give a shit about land? Brainstorm is better than land, but I also need a land. Back for 6. This game's not going to go many more turns with the clock that I have. All right, there's the Snapcaster. Rewarded. I'm going to let them choose their target and spellbomb them. This does make my construct smaller. Still bigger than Snapcaster Mage, though. You can trade with the Rogue or chump the construct. Trading with Rogue is fine. It was basically a 0 for 1. You make another Rogue out of the Currency Converter. Towards the Plowshare is okay. I think... I can loot and get a card deeper here, or I can just make my 2/2. I'm going to make my 2/2. There's a land on top of my deck that I'm pretty sure I don't want. So I'm just going to turn that into Tundra right now. And then I can Brainstorm. Ooh, that's a lot of good cards. BGH, I even have the Currency Converter to Madness. Okay, I'm going to put Prismatic Ending and Flooded Strand on top of my deck in that order. Then I'm going to play Saga and attack with my creatures. Opponent's at 7. Taken down. Wandering Emperor in my hand. They have Plow for Mentor. And they've been building up sort of a pretty strong board state here. Savine's Wreck on Snapcaster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snapcaster gets Swords to Plowshares. Is this my fight? Probably not. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. They're cracking a fetch land here. Swords to Plowshares, you got me. The rogues continue roguing. Okay. I'm gonna Wandering Emperor first. I have a force here. Oh, the Pyroblast is so annoying. I'm gonna convert some currency here in response. See if I can find a better blue card to discard. All right, I knew Flooded Strand was my top card. Never mind. I'm gonna discard Flooded Strand. I just don't want it. Much as I would like a creature. And I am gonna push the Force of Will. If you have Pyroblast, it would kill Yorion anyway. And if you don't, this card's gonna win the game. Oh, Force back. Cool. At least it's not Pyroblast. We take those. My opponent is Hellbent right now. I have Urza Saga. I'm going to Swords to Plowshares to push for damage right now. Because putting Snapcaster in the graveyard turns on Savine's Wreck. Something I don't really want to do if I don't have to. And I think I'm just going to pass the turn. I have Saga. I can currency convert BGH into play, even just as a surprise 1/1. Maybe Hunter shouldn't be in the deck. Like, it can pick off a Mentor, but only under really specific circumstances. Yeah, Hunter is worse than a lot of things that are already in the deck. I could bring a Swords to Plowshares back. I could play 1 Surgical Extraction. It doesn't sound good. Shadow Spear. I feel like if I'm connecting with creatures, I'm already ahead. Shadow Spear is a little extra. Maybe I want the Whip Quarter. It is just a 2/2. It's also a morph. Keep them guessing. All right, I'm going to do 1 Surgical Extraction. Not because I think it's good, but because I think it's better than Big Game Hunter, and there's not a better card to bring in. That's the flip side of being pre-boarded in matchups, is that your sideboard doesn't offer much. And we are mostly pre-boarded for any sort of fair blue grindy deck. Oh, this hand is so awkward. I like Narset, but I can't really cast it. If they don't go for basics, I could cheese Wasteland them. There's 2 Wastelands in the deck. I'll try it. Please just play Volcanic Island past the turn. Damn it. punished immediately. Ooh, first appearance of Standstill. At least we can get that off the ground. Maybe. Plateau, alright. Training grounds, F yeah. I could just wasteland them. Yeah, I actually want to do that because that's a red source. And pyroblasting my Standstill is not where I want to be. Also lets me use my mana to get training grounds in. Probably should have just held on to training grounds as a blue card to pitch to force a negation. I'm not sure it's getting much better than that. Honor. Alright, I'm just jamming Standstill. If you have Red Blast, you have Red Blast. If you don't, the Standstill is going to be great. They could also flash in Snapcaster Mage in response, and just, I'm on a 10-turn clock. Alright, I got the same 2 cards. I guess it's not the same 2 cards, because if they Force of Will Standstill, it's a 2-for-1. If they cast a spell into Standstill, it's a 3-for-1. Alright, yeah. I'll take the Hymn to Turok instead. Expressive Iteration. I think I have to save my Force of Negation. This game's going to go long. Like, I'm not pressuring. I don't even really have a play coming up next turn. I love that they had to fetch Basic Mountain. That card is not good in their deck. Nice. Alright. You didn't have a Pyroblast last turn. Let's see if you found one. Gonna fetch Basic Island. Go for the Narset here. Force of Negation, pitching Snapcaster. Alright, I've gotten multiple 2-for-1s off this game. But they've also 2-for-1'd off Expressive Iteration, so that caught them up one of them. If they jam a Planeswalker here, I'm gonna have to force it, and then I'm just sitting here with Swords to Plowshares in my hand. I have to fight over this Narset because it takes the Ponder out of my hand anyway, functionally speaking. Alright. Prismatic ending my training grounds, fuck yeah. Show me who's boss. Alright, drawing that land was great, because now I get to wasteland them off white and put Yorion in my hand. I kind of want to get my black land, but I also don't want to lose the Ruination. Alright, I'm going to ignore the black land and just insulate against the thing that could Shadow Realm me. And they have 2 cards left in their hand. If they go like land Jace, we're dead. Yeah, my hand's pretty bad here. But so is theirs. They're not doing anything either. They're on 5 mana, they can cast Force of Will. Oh yeah, Mirror Entity. Get in there. I'm at the point of the game where I'll put anything on the stack. There's nothing to be clever about right now. Like, they're top decking, and I am trying to put them on the back foot before they stabilize. Mystic Sanctuary, bummer. That's a good one. Picking up EI right now. I'll take a Ponder. I'll always take a Ponder. Oh my god, they just cracked their fetch land. They shuffled away the EI they just worked so hard for. Oh my god. You did all that to Swords to Plowshares and Mirror Entity? Weird. Okay. Alright, I mean, not a play I'd make, but it's your life to live. Brainstorm, Shark Typhoon, Currency Converter. I'm going to take the Currency Converter right now. That can convert a Swords to Plowshares into a Rogue. And then when I cycle Shark Typhoon next turn, I get a free bonus Rogue. Yeah, I don't think the play that they made makes any sense. They would have just like taken 2 damage and gotten to cast Expressive Iteration, but instead they don't get to do that. Alright. Swords to Plowshares in the Converter Zone. I'm just going to pass. I get to make a 2/2 Shark and a 2/2 Rogue, and I have a second 2/2 Rogue lurking under the surface. Oh wow, that feels good. 2/2 Shark. Draw a card. And I'm going to put Shark Typhoon in my graveyard, because I have graveyard synergies with that card. I don't really with Swords to Plowshares. Red Blasting my Shark, so I'm just going to cast Yorion then. I'm not going to flicker anything, because that resets Currency Converter, and that's actually bad. Okay, Swords to Plowshares, sure. Alright. Got a pair of, or the Shark Typhoon was a 2-for-1 on the Pyroblast, and then Yorion was a 1-for-1. And my free cards are going to start taking over this game. Oh, Ponder's good. If they Ponder into EI, get something going here, could be in trouble. Really glad they didn't cast that EI 2 turns ago that they Mystic Sanctuaried for. They shuffled their Ponder. Get to make another Rogue here. Oof. Back with my creatures. So I'm not going to be converting currency this turn because I don't have the mana. I'm just going to Brainstorm. I don't need 2 Wandering Emperors right away. Emperor and Prismatic Ending back, play the plains, pass the turn. A good chance that this Emperor gets forced. They haven't done anything. What would be in their hand if not counterspells right now? Yep, there's that. And then I get to attack for 4 again. And then this turn I can convert into the other Wandering Emperor. They have 6 mana now. Oh wow, they're Prismatic Ending the rogues. Desperate situation over there. In my end step, let's convert some currency. I think I want to get rid of Swords to Plowshares. They're basically in top deck mode. Like, Mentor's not even scary right now. Nobody's ready for the second Wandering Emperor. Uh-oh, they were ready for the second Wandering Emperor. It's fine, we're still ahead. Brainstorm, let's do stuff. Okay, yeah, that was stuff. I'm going to put back one of the Prismatic Endings and the Flooded Strand. Play Urza Saga. They are dead on board, and Urza Saga and Force of Will backing it up with 0 cards in their hand. I'm feeling good. Ironically, one of the scariest cards they could have is Shark Typhoon. We did it! Undefeated with Rebels in 2022 Legacy. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the play in round 2, and I have this colorless hand again. Saga really doesn't win a game on its own. It's weird that this has happened so many times. I might need to take a look at the mana base. Yeah, now we have none. Did I bork this mana base somehow? Alright, I'm gonna have to keep this one. And Mirror Entity and Prismatic Ending should go. In Training Grounds, I can either catch me up with a Rebel Chain or pitch to Force of Negation. Island Ponder, though. That's good news. I'll take a Standstill. Okay, so Swords to Plowshares, Standstill, Force of Will. That's the stack. This is the type of hand that can undo a mull to 5. I hope they just cast Ponder and not Delver's Secrets here. Okay, good. Now I can jam Standstill and protect it with Force of Will. And we'll see how the game looks after that. Bang. Just in there. This is where they play Urza Saga. Bloodstained Mire. Alright, we're playing against Grixis. I have no land drops, but I'm a long way away from going to discard. The ways to play against Standstill are either just like, fuck it, slam in, or sculpt until your opponent has 7 cards in their hand and then break it in the end step. Usually the player who starts missing land drops has to bust it first. God. Now I'm getting a little worried. They have 5 lands in play. I still have not come up with any. Alright, found one. I'm not going to put Yorion in my hand because I actually don't want it. Wow, they're just going for it. Deal. They did an end step one where you end up discarding half of the cards you draw. I actually am going to discard 2 of these cards. But I can cast Force of Negation on this Brainstorm. That's just 1 less card I have to discard. Discarding BGH but not having the one to put it into play is so disheartening. I don't think my opponent on Grixis Control is going to have a single target for Game Hunter, though. Yeah, I'm not going to madness it. Disappointing. Found another Standstill along the ride, though. Thoughtseize. Yeah, okay. They're either going to take Standstill or Force of Will, depending on the texture of their hand. Probably Standstill would be my guess. Unless they're just going to resolve Jace right now. Okay, Force of Will. That's terrifying. Following up with a Brainstorm. Because let me tell you about Narset and Standstill. The Standstill deck falls apart fast if the opponent sticks a Narset. And a Ponder, okay. They're running out of mana to deploy big planeswalkers with. Ponder didn't shuffle, but then they fetched. Another Ponder, okay. Their hand is going to be pretty, but at least the Thoughtseize didn't punch through a Jace or Narset or anything right now. They have another discard spell. That's going to suck. If I get to untap and jam Standstill, I'm going to be excited. Oh god, what? Oh, I've been fooled. This is Storm. This was Storm the whole time. Wow, they did such a good job pretending they were Grixis Control. Well done. Alright. Yeah, GG. Definitely dead. I was not ready for that twist. Thoughtseize, Duress, 1 card left. Is it the Tendrils or is it the tutor for the Tendrils? Yep. That was awesome. Good job. Storm exactly 10 with 0 cards left in their hand. Awesome. All right, Storm ad nauseum. Deafening Silence, duh. Force of Negation, duh. I think Surgical Extraction. Well, Surgical Extraction and Rest in Peace do have text. Plague Engineer also has text. If they go for goblins, I want to be able to sweep them up somehow. Swords to Plowshare is bad. Whipcorder, bad. Prismatic Ending, loose. Big Game Hunter, definitely bad. There's the 7 I definitely want. Now, how much of what graveyard cards do I want? I think I can shave some Prismatic Endings and get some Surgicals in here. Or is Rest in Peace better than Surgical? Rest in Peace turns off my Hall, but that's the only thing it does, and... Alright. Rest in Peace is good. I like it better than Surgical. Okay, let's do it. That was sick. Another colorless mana hand. I'm gonna have to look at this mana base. Only one of these forces is actually a force. Gonna mulligan. Alright, paid out so hard. I'm gonna keep this bottom mirror entity. I have Deafening Silence with Force Protection. And I am happy to pitch Training Ground. I do love that Training Ground is just a blue card that you're happy to throw away. That's its role in the deck. Preordain. Top bottom to the Preordain. Either Vial, that's cool. Get to work. Brainstorm is their spell for the turn. Really like to draw a land. I want to put a 1/1 into play and start dealing damage with Shark Typhoon. Got there. Not going to put Yorion in my hand. I could hardcast Force Negation or cycle Shark Typhoon with the mana that I have. Vial's awkward when you don't have a Remotion Sergeant in your hand, because now it's like, I guess I just float it up to 3 and leave it there. Burning Wish is going to resolve. Giving Void Snare, I can counter that. Let's make Shark and start beating down. Another Force in hand. Like that. Oh. This is too good to say no to, right? I mean, I could just... no, it's not. All right. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to Force of Negation hardcast the Void Snare. That'll be the spell for the turn, and then untap and play Standstill when I don't have to give up a 1/1 to do it. The question of leaving Vial on 3 versus just digging all the way up to 5 and just plan for Yorion is kind of an interesting one. Void Snare. Force of Negation. Those are our spells for the turn. A Vial goes up to 3. Urza Saga, yes. Casting Standstill. Now we're doing stuff. Force blue card still in hand. This Aether Vial. Utterly embarrassing. I think I'm just going to go straight up to 5 and plan for Yorion. I'm going to draw Lin Sivvi as soon as I take this up to 4. Watch. Alright, got away with it. No one will ever know that happened. And I'm going to use my mana on Saga or Force of Will this turn, so I'm not going to put Yorion in hand. Opponent land go again. Aether Vial has finally impacted the board by beating a +1/+1 on my constructs. Okay, what do I want to do with this? It's probably Nile Spellbomb. Oh, they're fetching. We're on Pithing Needle. I need to stop being worried about that. That's all people are ever doing. I'm going to get Nile Spellbomb. I don't have black mana, but still, turning off their graveyard cuts off some outs. Next turn, I can get Yorion and put it into play, all under Standstill. Okay, busting Standstill. Grip full of forces. Brainstorm resolves. Like, they just can't win with Deafening Silence in play, and they only get 1 spell a turn to fight over Deafening Silence, and I have 2 counterspells in my hand, and they're dead on board. I just don't see a way out of this. Maybe like Abrupt Decay, but then they still have to beat my 2 forces and Nile Spellbomb that are in play. Chain of Vapor. How about New? This game brought to you by powerful sideboard cards. Okay, do I want Rest in Peace? That's like really the only question or thing at all is Rest in Peace versus Surgical. Could split the difference. I'm not sure it matters. Neither of them are blue. They do comparable things. All right. I'll do one surgical and rest in peace. We're out here testing. I have Force of Will and Deafening Silence, but only Urza Saga for mana. How many white sources are in my deck? 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And there are 73 cards in my deck. That's like 1 in 4 cards as a white source. And the hand's not even really going anywhere with just the Saga. Like, Currency Converter isn't going to win a game on its own. So Standstill, all right, I'm actually going to keep, because any blue or white source is good. White source is obviously the nuts, but on the draw with a Force of Will against Storm with multiple good cards in my hand. Oh, what's up, Aether Vial? I have something to do with my fake mana anyway. All right, Jack, it's time. I need you to deliver. Uh-oh. I'll Spellbomb. At least cut off an angle. And now this Saga. I have one more chance to hit a colored source before Saga is just like, fuck you, buddy. I'm out of here. And I'm almost out of fetchable artifacts, too. The Preordained Ponder. They top bottom their Preordain and then fetch and cast Ponder. Alright, deck. White or blue mana. Colored source. Colored source. One more draw step to rule them all. Had it. I was never worried. I'm going to get Retrofitter Foundry. And I'm going to cast Currency Converter. And then I'm going to cast Deafening Silence. We're going to fart around forever. Okay, my opponent just figured out why I kept this hand, though they probably could have predicted it. My Force of Will... I'm actually not going to counter this Duress. They can strip my Force, which becomes a Rogue. Pretty great. It's insulation against Duress. Begin the beatdowns. I'm going to take Vial up to 3. And draw a blue card. Or blue source. You all know what I meant. Here it is. Never didn't have it. Take your time. And I guess Vial is just going straight up to 5 again. That play pattern is not good. Very awkward. Okay. Maybe I'm supposed to convert on my turn. Try to spike the land drop. So if they cast a spell and break Standstill, I want my mana available. Alright, Remotion Sergeant is over. You're going to become a rogue. So Silence. Normally the second one's good, but I'm not going to break my Standstill to deploy it. Lotus Petal. Feed me. Your spell for the turn. Draw 3 cards. End step, make a 2/2. And I'll also make a 1/1. Vial. It's going to be no forever. Attack with all my creatures, and I think I should play the second Deafening Silence. Don't think they're going to beat the second one. Unless they have, like, Echoing Truth, but we've seen Chain of Vapor and Void Snare, each of which are one-shot answers. Potent sideboard cards carrying this sketchy mana base. 2-0, on to the next one. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw for round 3 with functional mana and some spells to cast. I'm in. It's better than I've done in the last 2 rounds, and I'm 2-0. See what a real hand can do. Okay, I have 2 black cards. I would also like to play around Wasteland. Alright, please don't stifle me. Underground Sea, Ponder. Ooh, found another land. This is risky. If they Wasteland me, I'm in the trash can. If they don't, this is actually fine. Actually, I think this is bad even if they don't Wasteland me. Well, if I resolve Standstill, it's great. If I don't resolve Standstill, it's awful. I'm going to keep the Standstill. Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel, where all I want to do is cast Standstill. No Wasteland, no Wasteland, no Wasteland. Yes! Alright, Plateau is fine. Okie dokie, artichokes. Here it is. Take your time. Got a little Hymn to Turok action out of that one. Jeskai again. A Plateau deck with Force of Will. And Narset. Yeah, that card's good. And I can't Prismatic Ending it because I have 2 basic planes. The only 2 in the deck. I'm really good at drawing 2-ofs. both of every two of has showed up. I got the two wastelands, the two mirror entities. We mulliganed two mirror entity into two mirror entity. That was fun. Blight Speaker, get in there. Opponent revealed the Wandering Emperor. That's a nightmare. Maybe they won't have a land. Fingers crossed. Nice, they don't have a land. Not yet, anyway. Ponder is going to look for one, and they could Emperor me next turn. They could Daze Undoing me now, but please don't. They shuffled the Ponder. Still haven't found the land. Alright, no land drop. Can I get a land drop? Clear this Narset, maybe? Oh yeah. You wasted your plow. I tricked you. She's in there. But we know they have 5 spells in hand. In the Jeskai deck full of removal. Whatever. Fine. Mentor. Okay. Oh. Hope you don't have another Force of Will. Because I do have the plow. And I guess I want to get my training grounds into play. The other alternative is just drawing a card off Nile Spellbomb, which I also think is fine. Maybe even better. But I'm ready to train. This game's been weird enough. Let's keep making it weirder. Uh-oh. The Emperor is here. Shark Typhoon. Not great. Can make a 1/1 Shark to challenge Narset. The turn later than I would have liked it to happen, though. Yep, I got nothing here. Enjoy that. Maybe they'll pile up on a Samurai so high that it ends up dying to Big Game Hunter. Another token. Take my 2 from combat. End of turn, make a 1/1 Shark. This is enough to defeat Narset in combat if they don't have a third plow. And Nile Spellbomb can stop Snapcaster Mage. I won't get a card out of the deal, unfortunately, but they'll at least do it. And they have a third plow. Sure. You got me. Ugh. This is so many prismatic endings in a matchup where they're terrible. And I will use one of them to pick off a token, though. Gotta start somewhere. Okay. The Samurai is gone. The Samurai is a 3/3. I almost wish it was a 4/4. There are no instants that are worth casting in their graveyard, so my Nile Spellbomb is not going to run into a Snapcaster Mage here. Dramatic Ending my Aether Vial, sure. Not doing anything. End step. Nile Spellbomb you and draw a card. Another Vial. We're doing it. Whatever it is, it's here. It's happening. You're bearing witness to it right now. Ending the token again. You know, I complained last turn about all these endings, but they have actually stabilized the game for me, so I'm into that. Do I want to grab Yorion right now, or put Aether Vial into play? I think I want a Vial. Somehow, this game is back to a stable board. I mean, they have the Wandering Emperor in play, and I'm still under Narset, but still, stability has been achieved. Temporary stability. Another Prismatic Ending. All right, that's fine. Okay, that can be GH if it needs to. Do I want to end Narset or end the Samurai? That's actually pretty close. If I end the Samurai, I can grab Yorion. If I end the Narset, I can actually maybe cast spells in the future. Right, I'm going to end Narset. I have more answers to creatures than I do Planeswalkers in the deck. Getting Force of Negation. Alright, fair enough. Keep your secrets. Samurai is a 3/3. Go to my turn. Alright, Shark Typhoon fucks. Not grabbing Yorion here should be a big red flag to them that I've found something else to do. Make another 2/2 Vig. Back for 3. You got it. 11. Fetch to 10. Make a Shark. I am going to get the other Underground Sea because I have a black card in my hand. Even though that's not really where I want to be with my mana. There's only one plow left in their deck. There's none in the graveyard right now. Snapcaster doesn't help. Promotion Sergeant, fuck yeah. Alright. A Brainstorm. They're digging for that last plow right now. If they have a main deck Pyroblast, that also kills my Shark. Prismatic Ending doesn't help here. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, they've achieved the 4th towards the Plowshares. Okay, so I could just spew out Remotion Sergeant and Blight Speaker right now. Or I could put Yori into my hand and play Blight Speaker. I think I want Sergeant and Blight Speaker because I can activate both of them next turn. Thanks to Training Grounds. Alright, Sarge, get in there. Blight Speaker, also get in there. Wouldn't it be sick if the Companion was an activated ability that Training Grounds reduced? That's not how the rules work. It is A, not an activated ability, and B, is it an activated ability? Or is it a special rule like Morph? I don't actually know the answer to that with high confidence. I'm going to take 6 here, go to 7. If they get greedy and try to pile on lethal next turn by plussing either of these samurais, I can get a BGH. The other one is still in my deck for tutoring. There could be a world where I like tempo them out and get like Lin Sivvi, or I can't get Lin Sivvi and Mirror Entity next turn because Remotion Sergeant only gets 2s. I get like another Blight Speaker or Whipcorder and Mirror Entity, and then just clap for 20. That's a play pattern that could exist. All their plows are gone. 3 in our set, okay. I couldn't beat the first one. Don't even care about this one. Ponder, alright. Got a Ponder. Oh, you had Prismatic Ending too? How many of these have you cast? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's all 4 plows and 3 Prismatic Endings. Oh, on Training Grounds, that's so smart. I'm mad now. I was worried they were going to go after my creatures, but that's actually a little bit worse. Dark Typhoon, not the worst. I think that could happen. Okay. I mean, let's see what they do with this Wandering Emperor. If they push too hard, I could punish. Our set. Going to find the last Prismatic Ending, the last removal spell in your deck. Another Ponder. So they have another Ponder in hand still. Did not shuffle the Ponder. I hate that. Oh, bummer. They're just not even using the Wandering Emperor. Okay, I have some choices here. I can go to 1, or I can block with Remotion Sergeant, because I'm not really going to use it anyway. My mana is going to be too busy this game. Just save some damage at least. 3, 4. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do both of these ever. And these have Vigilance. Yeah, I'm just going to soak up some damage, have a little bit of life total to work with. There's the other Ponder. Did not shuffle either. Still have their Emperor activation for the turn. Please make one of your things a 4/4. It wouldn't make any sense to do that. I'm just rooting for them to fuck up because that's my way out of this game right now. All right, Shark Typhoon is better than Lin Sivvi here, or Mirror Entity, by a lot. Also sees me another card. Shark. Prismatic Ending, okay. Dress down. What does that do? Oh, it protects your Planeswalkers, okay. Yeah, it does do that. I can't Brainstorm. Okay, check out the one cool trick that Legacy gamers hate. Okay. If I Prismatic Ending the 2/2, attack Wandering Emperor, or attack Narset with my 3/3, they block with a 3/3. They're forced to pump a 4/4, which gives me a BGH target. Alright. Buckle up. We're getting weird. Going after the small one, which they should be suspicious about. But I guess I don't. Wow, Force of Will. Okay. Sure. Well, that makes things shitty. Let's hope they make a 4/4 all the same. And not a third 3/3, but the third 3/3 is much better. It also gives the creature first strike. Oh, and you have a main deck Pyroblast? This is bullshit. I'm over it. Make a 4/4. Nope. Alright, yeah, just danced around the Blight Speaker the whole time. Yeah, that was rough. We made a weirdly competitive game out of that. And by competitive, I mean we wasted a lot of time. Okay, we've played against Jeskai once already in this league. I've not seen Snapcaster Mage out of this build. Doesn't mean they don't have it, but it does mean we haven't seen it. I think Source of Plowshares is worse than Force of Negation. BGH, I actually... terrible. We were just hoping that it lined up somehow, that whole game. I'm gonna bring in... Oh, did we see a Mentor this game? I feel like we did we? Alright, Plague Engineers are coming in just in case. I don't know if it's blurring in with the last time we played against Jeskai or what, but I feel like we saw a Mentor. And I'm going to cut the other Game Hunter. Unfortunate, but we saw that game how ineffective it is. Alright, I'm just going to do it like this. The Shadow Spear could help pressure Planeswalkers, but I don't really think... Like, if I have a creature on board that doesn't get removed and is pushing for damage, I don't think Shadow Spear is going to be the thing that breaks the game. Another colorless hand. Maybe Wasteland just doesn't belong in this deck. There's no way to really recur it or do anything with it. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, much better. Keep this one. Snappity keepities, this one. Bottom Plague Engineer. And I am gonna lead on Tundra. Curving the Saga as your second land drop lets you start making constructs on curve. Don't care about Ponder. I will force this Standstill through if they fight back about it. Did not shuffle. Lin Sivvi. I really hope to just activate any Rebel even once in this entire league. It almost came up last game. Almost. Oh yeah, they're just ripping the Band-Aid off. Like, fuck it, let's go. Alright, resolves. I'm going to cast another one next turn. One Ancestral Recall down. Did not shuffle. They could Pyroblast this one, but I will force it. Oh, just resolved. They're just F6'd over there. That's good shit. I expect they're just going to pop this one immediately as well. Like, I don't imagine their situation changed much, that they're like, okay, now is the time to wait. Especially with the active versus Saga. Okay, very important. Make sure your Standstill trigger resolves before you force a will or spell, or else they end up with 3 cards instead of you. Is not what you want to be doing. I am going to force this Mentor because I'm just not really ready for it in any other way. I'm going to grab Tundra. Don't think I'm making a construct here. Oh, definitely not if I'm drawing Narset. All right, just floating mana. And do I want Retrofitter or Currency Converter? Am I going to discard this turn? I'm not. No. Unfortunate. I really wanted to discard a card. Yeah, I think I want Currency Converter. And then I can play Narset. Activate Narset. Shark Typhoon, Force of Will, Wandering Emperor. I think I want Shark Typhoon. And I'll play another Aether Vial. This time I actually do have a creature in my hand. Surprise. There are some in the deck. I'm pretty sure Aether Vial doesn't belong in this deck. Like, the Rebel theme isn't high enough that that's a thing that I need to be doing. I don't know. Like, obviously, like, it's really cool, understand still, but also I think the way that the deck is currently constructed just doesn't have enough creatures to push it. And they could not beat that Narset. Quick concession. Turn 3 victory. Put it on the board. And confirmed Mentor. If it wasn't visible last game, it is now confirmed. I don't think my deck gets any better. I'm going to submit the one that I have. I don't like these 2 Swords to Plowshares in my hand. I do like the Urza Saga and the Ponder, though. Keeping. I can go turn 1 Ponder off Underground Sea, turn 2 Urza Saga Blight Speaker, get multiple engines online. And it's going to be up to them to overpower that. They mulled to 6. And they have a Ponder. I would love to just draw one of my Wastelands now. I love there. I'll Ponder instead. Ooh, Remotion Sergeant. I have Blight Speaker, though. I don't need 2 of this. So, like, I really don't want Prismatic Ending. On top of, yeah, this, I have lands. I don't want another removal spell. I'm going to shuffle this Ponder. Ended up with a land anyway, but at least we are drawing 1 card we don't want instead of 3. Through another land. Urza Saga, Blight Speaker. Brainstorm in response. Yep, live in fear of this one. I'm coming for you. I'm also just ice cold to Blood Moon right now. Let's hope they don't have that card. Or they haven't been playing to it. Ruination is usually the land hate Jeskai plays if they play any at all. And if they boarded it in at all. But I am very dead to Blood Moon. A lot of respect for the Blight Seeker. Speaker? Seeker. I think it's Speaker. Yes, it talks about Blight. It does not look it out. Oh, we're missing land drops in the face of an Urza Saga. That's not a good place to be. Oh wow, it just got worse. I am not going to spend time standing still right now because they are holding up Pyroblast in a hand that missed its land drop and didn't cast a spell. I'm just committing to Urza Saga here. Let me cash in my 3-for-1, and then we'll talk about Standstill later. Found a B-Storm, taps them out of red to do it. Found another red, but also another white. This mana does not cast Narset. I played a league recently, a Jeskai league, with a Plateau in my deck, and a basic mountain, and a basic plains, and I just frequently couldn't cast my Narset. It was kind of bad. Shark Typhoon, yup. And I believe I want the Converter. So Retrofitter I can see the argument for. Next turn I'll have 4 mana to Standstill and make a servo, or Standstill and convert. No, I want the Converter. You have to hold up Plow for a possible Mentor this turn. Took their damage. I could get melted down here. That would be unfortunate, but I can follow it up with Standstill. Played another land, so the Brainstorm found 2 lands for them. Fetching land number 4 right now, or this is just the blue source to cast Narset. Counterbalance, alright. Don't need to cast spells to win the game. That's kind of the point of this deck. Alright, good one. They're still holding up Pyroblast, which makes me want to cycle Shark Typhoon instead of playing Standstill. Oh, that one is maybe better than both. Gonna attack for 4 to start. Their life total is getting smaller. I have onboard pressure for Planeswalkers. All good stuff. Yeah, I'm not jamming Standstill into this world's most obvious Pyroblast. I have Shark Typhoon that can't be countered, guaranteed 2-for-1, or Wandering Emperor that can be countered. I think I just want the Shark Typhoon. If they spend a Pyroblast killing the Shark to save damage, that's 1 less Pyroblast to fight over Standstill with. Guess they could like Hull Breach my cycle there, but that didn't happen either. Oh yeah, the whole Rebel squad showing up. Back for 6. Towards the Plowshares. Yep, that saves 3 damage because it shrinks the other construct as well. Morphs cost 0 on the stack, so it's probably better as a 2 than a 3. And I'm just going to play 2 Wandering Emperor here. With testing their counters and their counterbalance in the end step is much better than any other version of that. The Brainstorm does get to set up counterbalance. Let's see if they bet on 4. Flooded Strand. Alright, they don't know what their top card is anymore. Narset. Okay. Alright, I'm going to respond to the activation of Narset. This gives me the best chance to resolve this when they don't have Force of Will. Please don't show me a 4. Snapcaster Mage on top. Are you going to go Hellbent to Force of Will this? Nope. Alright, cool. The Snapcaster Mage is going away. It cannot be selected with Narset. Expressive Iteration. In the end step, I'm going to make a 2-2. Okay, I can put them to 1 on board. If I pump, or is 2 the same as 1? 1 turns off Force of Will and fetch lands. Standstill doesn't even matter anymore because of Narset. I could spend some effort attacking Narset, or I have Prismatic Ending. I'm going to use that. They don't know the top of their deck. They need a 3-drop to counter Ending. I could put an extra mana into the Ending, but if Narset's gone, I am going to want to cast the Standstill. They did not reveal. Okay, I'm going to attack and see if they want to kill my Shark with Pyroblast, letting me stand still. Yeah. 1 dead Shark. This EI was put in their hand from Narset. That's not on top of the deck. I'm pretty sure. I hope. Force of Will on top of the deck. Standstill in play. Make another 2-2. Okay, this is looking good. They're going to have to EI. They're drawing Force of Will, which doesn't help their game anymore. They have to spend 2 mana expressive iterating, and I get to draw 3 cards when they do. Okay. It all happens. They have like Land Supreme Verdict that would buy them some time. Exiled in Island. Supreme Verdict is live. Prismatic Ending. Okay. Still currently dead on board. Brainstorm. I normally like to brainstorm and know what my options are before I start casting removal spells. Brainstorm, ponder. I expect a shuffle here to shuffle away the brainstorm cards. Yep, they shuffled the library. They need a Swords to Plowshares or Prismatic Ending right now to be alive. And we did it. We're 3-0. Very much in spite of the Rebels. Like, the Rebels haven't actually done anything yet, haven't activated a single one. I guess they are drawing out Swords to Plowshares and stuff. Maybe that's an intangible on the game. But if anything, we're really flexing the power of this Standstill blue-white shell right now, because it's winning in spite of having this package of like 10 to 12 cards that don't do anything. Keep it rolling. I'm on the play for round 4 with an actual functional Aether Vial hand. I'm going to keep. I believe I want to basic island here. Is that even true? God, I really don't want to, but maybe I should. Between Vial and Saga, though, if they wasteland my land drop, that's not even the worst thing that could happen. I'm not going to get Underground Sea because I'm going to use Vial to get this Blightseeker out. Yeah, I should probably just get Tundra. I'm playing Vial, not Ponder. We had the Island Ponder Keep opener and made a different decision. Let that be a lesson to you. Use the information available. Okay. The City of Traders. Probably going to be glad I have this Prismatic Ending if they chalice me here. But a deck that's willing to lead on City of Traders is kind of terrifying. That's someone who is here for a good time, not a long time. They even had Wasteland and chose not to use it. Oh, Trinisphere. Yikes. Okay. Good thing I got Aether Vial. Yeah, Urza Saga. Let's see if we can out Saga or out Trinisphere my opponent. So Trinisphere basically says players don't get to play spells, which is the same thing that Standstill says. Oh no! Alright, that actually hurts. And if they have a land drop, that's also Wasteland. That hurts even more. Okay, they didn't have a land drop. They went all in on that Trinisphere. Blightspeaker showing up this turn. Alright, I am hitting land drops too. Count it. This might be the match where the Rebel Chain finally goes nutty. So, I'm going to be honest with you. If I have 4 mana, I'm casting the Wandering Emperor. I'm not activating Blightspeaker. Oblivion Ring. Dirty Pool. Just in time. Let me speak to you about my Lord and Savior, Blight. I think I just want a Prismatic Ending their Mox Diamond. It's like kind of aggro, but they've missed a bunch of land drops. I'm already exposed to Wasteland. Let's just expose ourselves further. Okay, cool. Mox Diamond is gone. They can't cast spells unless they draw a land, and if they draw a land, they lose their City of Traders, thus no longer getting spells. Lock you under your own 3-ball, one of my favorite play patterns. And drain you out with Blightspeaker. The Legacy Dream. Lock them under their own 3-ball and do Rebel shit. Should I do Rebel shit? I'll decide. If they miss another land drop, I might just start chaining Rebels instead of getting Wandering Emperor. But Wandering Emperor is definitely correct. No. We're live for a trophy with this fucking pile. I'm going to make the correct play. I'm going to play Wandering Emperor. Make a 2/2. Make you lose a life. And then I can use my mana next turn to chain Rebels if I still want to do that. Make another Vidge Samurai. Back for 2. And Mirror Entity is actually lethal. Is it? Yeah. Easy lethal. Oh, they conceded. That's okay. The Rebel Chain paid off, even though they conceded and I didn't get to actually do it. Mirror Entity was about to cut 3 or 4 turns off this game, so count that as a Rebel game. Love it. All right, Force Negation definitely against this prison deck. I am also a prison deck though, so good luck over their opponent. We don't know what kind of threats they're gonna have in their deck. BGH could still be good. This deck might have Timeless Dragon in it. I've seen that in Trinisphere white decks before. Vial seems great. Nile Spellbomb. I did just mention Timeless Dragon. Force Negation is the only card I want to bring in. Shadow Spear might be good too. I'm gonna want more information before I bring in Shadow Spear though. Prismatic Ending's great. Swords to Plowshares. They're gonna have to win the game somehow. It could be with the Wandering Emperor, but yeah, I'm actually going to cut a Plow. I don't want to cut any blue card. I want to support the 6 forces in my deck. And all my creatures, the Rebel Chain's actually great in this Trinisphere matchup. Okay, there it is. This hand doesn't have a Force or 3 mana. It does have a Remotion Sergeant. I'm going to keep. Shark Typhoon's also really good against prison decks. All right, you're a Saga deck. I'm ready for that. Do I just cack off this Wasteland? Ooh, yeah, I guess I have to. So, I could Remotion Sergeant now. Just get that in. Yeah. And because this is polluted Delta, I don't get to play around Wasteland. But if they Wasteland me, then I Wasteland them, and the only permanent left in play is Remotion Sergeant. They are a fast mana deck, so if they have Ancient Tomb, they can get value out of this Saga. But if I Wasteland their Ancient Tomb, then they only get the 1, but they do get the Tutor. It's actually kind of close, deciding if I want to waste the Tomb or the Saga. I guess putting them to no mana is pretty fucking exciting. All right, I'm going to play Nile Spellbomb and Wasteland their Ancient Tomb. Okay, making your construct. I'm wasting your Tomb. You get a 1/1, then you get to tutor for something. Could be Mox Diamond or Opal. We know they have mana sources that can come out of the Urza Saga. A diamond gonna cost you a land from your hand. Guarded City of Traders. All right. Another Ancient Tomb. All right. That's bad. I'm not gonna pop my Spellbomb in response. Having it in play could be good enough. If they get the coding here, I'm on like Force of Will or Bust, but I do have Brainstorm to look for it. I Brainstorm, find me a Force. Found a Force, good news. I think I'm putting back Lin Sivvi and one of the lands. I ultimately want all the lands. I think I'm going to force pitching Narset. Yeah, that Wasteland hurts. But that's why I kept all the lands around. Reball. Okay, I'm going to force pitching Narset. And then I'm just going to slam Standstill. Yeah, I think slamming Standstill here is the line. I'm going to fetch a basic Plains to do it. If they want to do anything, they're going to have to let me draw 3. And if they don't want to do anything, if they want to bet on Karn and Construct token to win the game on their own, they're going to be disappointed because my Rebel Chain is online and Shark Typhoon's in hand. Yeah, the Rebels are actually paying off this game as well. It's a big Rebel game. All right, gonna need a Force. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm gonna start losing lands here. All right, that probably does it. Losing my land. Plains is gone. This one's starting to drift away. Needed the Force there. Yeah, them Force checking me on Trinisphere was really good. For them, terrible for me. Oblivion Ring. Boo. Boo. Alright, I can still draw Prismatic Ending to slow down the liquid metal coating a little bit. They can just wish for it again with Karn and replay it. So it's not a permanent answer. How do I do this? Probably just don't is the answer. Alright, I've lost this one. Being able to force check me on the turn where I needed to answer liquid metal coating was enough to get them over the finish line. Now we get a game on the play, though. Karn the Great Creator, worth noting. I already have all my answers to it in. It's just, I am kind of an artifact deck. I could bring in Plague Engineer simply as creatures that attack. Big Game Hunter does kill construct tokens. We've seen Urza Saga out of them now. That makes Swords to Plowshares a little better. Makes Vile a bit worse, knowing they're a Karn deck, but Vile's really good against the other part of their deck, which is Trinisphere. I think I'm just running the same deck back. Ugh, this is not where I want to be. This hand doesn't get out ahead of anything, no Force. This is basically the same hand. Yeah, and it hasn't gotten any better. I mean, Currency Converter is pretty interesting, and I do have a basic land in this hand at least. I could ship the Training Grounds and, alright. I'm gonna try this one. This might be the end of me, but I'm going for it. This hand functions under Trinisphere, functions under Chalice of the Void. Shark Typhoon can pressure a Karn depending on how quickly it comes down. I have a basic land to operate off of. There's a lot to like about this hand, even though it's not really the dream that we're looking for. Let's convert some currency. Even get the Shark Typhoon plus currency converter surprise double creature play. Quantum to 5, that helps. I hope. Ancient Tomb. Go. Oh, this is a turn 2 Karn. Yeah! Found the best card I could find. I'm going to play the Cavern, because if I get Wastelanded, I prefer that Cavern dies. Cavern on Rebel. First appearance of Cavern this league. What's up, Cavern? Okay, this is not... Oh, Archon of Emeria. How do I feel about that? Probably not great. Non-basic lands enter tapped. That does matter. Could loot Tundra into a treasure. All right, I'm going to loot in response. Another force that actually is pretty exciting. But I'm running out of blue cards to pitch here. I could discard Brainstorm, force Pitch Force, and just bet on Shark Typhoon to take over this game. That might be crazy, but I don't hate it. Like, I'm just shitting out creatures, like a lot of them, and pressure Karn in really meaningful ways. All right, let's hope this pays off. There's one face-up creature under the currency converter, and I can generate another one on short notice. But Karn does shut off currency converter. I would love to get Wastelanded here instead of a 4-drop. Smokestack, oh baby. Currency converter is going to embarrass that card. Resolves. End step, cycle Shark Typhoon. That still feels just as good as the first time I did it. And make it 2/2. Found Lin Sivvi, that's cool. I have to sacrifice 0 permanents this turn. There'll be 1 permanent next turn. I have so many goddamn permanents. All right. Promotion Sergeant, Lin Sivvi. Yeah, this was a tough game to be on Smokestack. Okay, here we go. Who can keep the most permanents in play? Between Currency Converter and Promotion Sergeant, I'm feeling pretty good. It depends on what their follow-up is here. If they have any kind of sweeper, if they have like Armageddon or Wrath of God or even Ratchet Bomb to clear out these 2 tokens, that would be kind of tough. Flagstones, okay. They got some cool combos over there. Wastelanding my Tundra, you got it. And Oblivion Ring on to target converter, I'm sure. Get 1 more 2/2 for the road. Okay, that's gone. I'm going to sacrifice my Shark this turn. Shark's gone. Draw for turn. BGH. Cool. All right, Lin Sivvi. Search your library for a rebel with mana value X or less. Yeah, Lin Sivvi is the best one. So I'm going to attack with my other 5 damage. Lin Sivvi can tutor up Mirror Entity and just put lethal on board here. All right, can they reduce my permanents further? They're going to sack Flagstones. Are they going to tick up Smokestack? Go up to 2 and just go to crazy mode. That is a thing you can do. Usually it's a desperate play, but they are desperate right now, so it fits the bill. They did tick up to 2. All right, we're getting crazy. If I tutor up Mirror Entity, oh, another Wasteland. Stop it. Yeah, if I tutor up Mirror Entity, float 2 mana, put it into the entity. Oh, Karn makes Smokestack into a 4/4, but you lose your Wasteland to do it. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We win. I'm going to be able to attack with 5 3/3s next turn. Unless they have like Lion's Eye Diamond involved. I don't know. But nope. Yeah, so the Rebel Chain finally paying off. X equals 3. Grab a Mirror Entity. And then in my upkeep, Smokestack triggers, I'm going to make my creatures into 3/3s in response. My opponent's at 4. All my creatures are 3/3s. I'm going to sack 2 lands. And then just turn sideways. Go to attacks. Here they come. All creatures attack my opponent. I don't know what card exists that could save them. All right, I was just disparaging the Rebels, but they came in strong. They heard me. We're 4-0. We got a trophy match coming. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market. Check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the play in our 4-0 final match for the trophy. The Blight Speaker is awkward, but I'm going to keep this. I have some removal and a Brainstorm. Unfortunately, to maximize Brainstorm, I kind of have to play into Wasteland, or I could just say make Brainstorm a turn 3 play and lead on my planes. And I get to look like I'm Death and Taxes if I do this. Wink, wink. Oh god, a mountain. Oh, good. This is a great matchup to have multiple Prismatic Endings in my hand. So they are also a Wasteland deck. This is Goblins, by the way. That's the only deck that has basic Mountain Aether Vial. I hope they don't Wasteland me, but I can Brainstorm in response if they do. Shit, always have it. Oh, I'll Brainstorm in response and hope to hit a land. Okay, good. We got there. We got there. All right, I'm going to put BGH and Lin Sivvi. These are all bad, though. Lin Sivvi is better than Hunter. And I don't get rid of both because that's how brainstorming on your opponent's turn works. Another Vial. I'm ready. Gonna Prismatic Ending this either Vial. We're not doing that. Schadenport. Okay. I guess that means I should fetch the island. I'm not sure if it matters. Settling them down into a port game when they don't have Aether Vial is great. If I'm hitting land drops, life is good. I'm gonna play into Wasteland here to actually cast my Blight Speaker, is what it is. They're already porting me. If they want to Wasteland port me and then just die 1 point at a time, I'm cool with that. Alright. Channeled their Twin Shot Sniper. Now Wasteland's actually good and on curve. Please don't do it. White Source for Lin. No love. I'm just gonna hold up Shark Typhoon and Force of Will, I guess. That would have been the spot to jam Lin Sivvi, though. Disappointing. 4 mana, no play. What is in that hand? I would love to find a Standstill. Dark Token, Retrofitter Foundry. We're good. We're gonna port my C, because that's the land. Oh, yeah, I guess taking me off white makes sense if you're the Goblin deck. Sure. And here's Retrofitter Foundry. Gotta win this game somehow. If they have, like, Lackey plus Haste Lord next turn, that could punish my attack, but whatever. Feels like a munitions expert. I'm not going to counter this. Okay, it was just clearing lands out of their deck. Fair enough. You don't play Brainstorm, it's a thing you can do. Cavernous Souls was a really unfortunate draw here. Force of Will was the only thing keeping this game together for me. They just mucks this next turn, I'm wrecked. Matron, yep. I gotta find a Wasteland here. Masked Vandal that they can't cast this turn. Sure. Okay, I'm gonna get ported. I mean, Retrofitter Foundry is already a creature, but Shark Typhoon draws a card. I guess I want a Shark Typhoon here. Because there are 2 Wastelands in my deck. If I can clear this Cavern, I'm gonna be feeling pretty good. Yeah, I'll boop your Cavern. Okay. Muxus is off the menu. I'm not gonna fight the Masked Vandal. Oh, they can't even cast the Masked Vandal. The turn 7 Aether Vial is a lot worse than the turn 1 and 2 ones. Goblin Chain Whirler, what the fuck? Okay. I think I just have to let this happen and then stabilize with Retrofitter. That was a good random 1-up to have in your hand. Yikes. Alright, White Source for Lin Sivvi, let's do it. Get my girl going here. Alright, Swords to Plowshare is pretty good. I'm gonna pop Yorion in my hand. And I guess I don't need to plow right now. Masked Vandal can come in next turn off the Vial. Yeah, this Retrofitter is not going to do much this game. I guess it did the important role of my opponent tutored for Masked Vandal instead of Ringleader or Muxus. It did that. 2 ports. Now I'm in trouble. Alright, now Lin Sivvi is completely uncastable. I'm going to float a white, see if they know about moving into my draw step. Seems like they do. Alright. I'll make a 1/1 now. If you have 2 ports, porting 1 land in the upkeep and the other in the draw step makes it so they can't just spend 2 mana right away. That is the correct way to do that. Hit when my opponents do stuff right. Not even fair. I'm starting to feel this game slip away. This Retrofitter is about to get exiled. and then not really doing anything else. Definitely blocking. Just keeping material off the board is something I'm interested in at basically all times against goblins. Goblin Lackey. Okay. I mean, this is a risk. I know it's a risk. They can vial in the Vandal here, exile my Retrofitter, and if I draw a white source, I can play Lin Sivvi now. But I am going to get mostly ported off of... I'm getting ported off of Yorion. Any removal spell, Shark Typhoon, white source, all do what I need here. On deck. No! The one of Underground Sea. Go after a blue. Damn it. They know what they're doing. Okay. I am in a lot of trouble right now. 1 mana short of Yorion. Lin Sivvi is uncastable. Well, let's see how bad this Lackey is. Was there a Muxus all along? Filing in a 3-drop. If this is Matron. Right, it's not Matron, it's War Chief. Wasteland, jeez. Alright, 1 card left. I mean, them having 1 card left is pretty good. But also, it could be Muxus or Ringleader. Moment of truth. No Goblin. Okay, okay. So there's still game to be played here. So I am in trouble still to these double ports. White Source gets me stable. White removal spell clears out the Lackey, gives me a lot of breathing room. Alright, Narset. I guess I'll cast you. What happens? I'm going to get ported off white for the rest of the game. But this is at least a card I can cast. Anything that does anything is good for me right now. Swords to Plowshare is also good right now. What cards would they not have deployed yet? And the answers are like Munitions Expert, Gem Palm Incinerator, or Land. Like any Muxus or Ringleader kind of shit would have happened last turn. What? Did you draw Ringleader right now? Sling Gang. Oh, I'm dead. Sure. Okay. Yeah, that was really good. That was a classic Goblins versus Control matchup where the second port really shut down my entire game, and I could never control everything they were doing, and I never got anything going. Yeah, that can happen. All right, Force Negation's bad. Shadow Spear is good. Engineers are good. And Whip Quarter is like strangely good. Vial's good. Nile Spellbomb doesn't matter. And Force of Will is good, except when they have Vial or Cavern. And I have a lot of answers to Vial. I have some answers to Cavern. I think I still want my forces in the deck. In a Standstill deck, you usually do. Training Grounds could be sweet. Like really getting my Rebels going against this deck. Narset's kind of bad. Big Game Hunter. If it finds a target, it's going to be a big game. Oh well. I'm going to actually cut one of those because the 4 power creatures in their deck are like Muxus or an attacking pile driver or like any creature with multiple lords out. And none of those are board states where I want to rely on being able to discard this card or tutor it up at instant speed. Right, this looks good. Okay, I have Aether Vial, Standstill. I'm going to keep... This is really bad against Lackey, though. Let's just hope that's not what they're doing. Got my own Vial. Let's go. If they Lackey, I have Draw Step plus Brainstorm to find a removal spell or a 1-drop to block. Please don't Lackey, please don't Lackey, please don't Lackey. Okay, good. Good. Land? And I have a land. Another Vial. So here's the thing about Standstill versus Goblins that also has Aether Vial. A little bit dangerous. I might just want to Brainstorm here and try to set up a better Standstill for future turns. Okay, cool. Prismatic Ending your Vial now, and then Standstill is a thing I can do. Narset is not coming up here, and I don't need 2 Vials. I barely want the first one. All right, yeah, I'm gonna end their Vial. Okay, let's hope that was the line. I'm not worried about like a 2/2 or something. It's like specifically Vial and Lackey that I'm scared of. At this point, I can get ahead of a Lackey with... Oh, that's so fucking fucked up. All right, Or I can just play perfectly on curve, remove their Vial again, and play Standstill with Urza Saga. They could Pyroblast this. That's a card Goblins plays. They're a red deck. Yep, okay. I have another one, though. And now Saga is working. 2 Aether Vials have been answered. My Aether Vial continues to do nothing at all. Goblin Matron, okay. What are we looking for? Probably Ringleader? Guess I don't know what's in their hand. Just saying random goblin names. Raider Maker, okay. That destroys most things I could produce here. I'm getting Vial up to 3. Dark Typhoon is cool. Urza Saga, trigger again. And I'm going to stand still again. I am in much better position than they are under this standstill. Even with the ports and whatever, I can make a pretty large... Oh god, Wasteland and port might change the calculation a little bit. I can still Shark Typhoon, though. Yeah, I still got stuff to do. No worries. They can port my Urza Saga, which takes me off making constructs for a turn. Or they can just jam Crater Maker into standstill. We take those. Motion Sergeant has arrived. You're gonna blow up my Vial? Cool. The biggest scam in Magic history that just is not even a functional card in my deck, and they just tutored up an answer to it. Spent mana on all of that. Good shit. Okay, I'm going to fetch my Underground Sea. I'm already exposed AF to Wasteland, so I'm just going to lean in there. And if they want to dedicate port to keeping me off black for the rest of the game, that's a thing you can do. Badlands, attacking with Matron. All right, I'm not going to get fooled again. This might be bait for Lackey. They might, like, if they answer the 1/1 construct now, then the next construct's a 1/1, but next turn they're both 3/3s. And that's just a long-term plan. Okay, yeah. Chain Whirler would have cleaned me up too. Which in this case it doesn't. All right, we're getting a full value Urza Saga here. One of those. Off return, haul. Or one of those. I'm just getting Retrofitter Foundry. Or, I mean, Shadow Spear is pretty nice too, but I think Retrofitter is better. Since I have the mana to immediately make another homie. I could attack. I get fucking swept by Pyrokinesis though. They're fetching their 5th land. This might be Fury. That's pretty bad. But if this is Fury, I'm going to be glad I took my... Alright, it's Ringleader. Hit 3. Jeez. Muxus, War Chief, and Gem Palm Incinerator in hand. Gonna need to find some action pretty quick. Oh no. They either just tricked me, or they're betting that I'm going to play scared. There's one card in their hand I don't know. If it's Pyrokinesis, you got me. Otherwise, your creature's dead. Okay, just put their creature in the graveyard. Fair enough. They're like, whatever, I'm playing Muxus next turn. I don't care. Okay, I need to dig for an answer to Muxus. Wasteland is kind of an answer to Muxus. Currency Converter. I might want that. Do not shuffle my library. I'm gonna Wasteland or Badlands. Then I'm gonna attack with my creatures. My 4/4s anyway. And I'm gonna make them too big for Incinerator to fuck with. I should have put Currency Converter second and drawn the Shark Typhoon because I'm getting a tutor with Saga next turn anyway. I messed that up. Okay, they did have a Cavern. That was a good Wasteland. Summon their 2/2. Muxus, Incinerator, 1 mystery card in hand. Incinerator's too small to kill my constructs. They can pick off the Servo, which does make the constructs smaller. I'm so disappointed in myself for missing that Saga was about to pop and losing out on Converter for it. Okay, gonna make another construct. At this point, I'm just giant creature beatdown. There is no backup plan. We're here to smash. Hall of Heliod. Do I want to hold up Plow, or do I want to make one of these huge and tramply? I could play Converter and Plow. I think that good. 3 attacking 8/8s. Oh, actually, that wasn't good. I guess I'm gonna Plow the War Chief. Yeah, I could get Muxus here. Maybe I was supposed to Shadow Spear. The 1/1 is a free attack because they have to block my 8/8s anyway. And they're going to cycle Gem Palm on it all the same. Yeah, if they have a land, I am getting Muxus. They have to block 2 of these, so they're going to Muxus from 0 permanents, or 0 other permanents. But, I mean, if one card in their deck can win the game on its own, it's that one. Maybe I did want a Shadow Spear there. But the Plow might actually keep them off Muxus. It was kind of a Stone Rain. Fingers crossed. Okay, they do have 6 mana. Here comes the Mux. Please don't kill me. Medium bad Muxus one time. That was a medium Muxus. No haste, no Sling Gang. A Munitions Expert that can't kill anything. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. I used my one time for the league. I don't have it anymore. Okie dokie. All right, game 3 on the draw. Got to respect the hell out of Lackey this time. I'm gonna keep this hand, or keep this deck what it is. I haven't seen anything to change my interest in Big Game Hunter. We saw the Pile Driver, we saw the Muxus, those are the cards we knew about, and nothing else really changes here. Oh no. Prismatic Ending, no white source. Plague Engineer, no black source. There's no scrub land in the deck, so no single land can cast both of those cards. My opponent kept 7. If they're on a Vile hand, I like this. If they're on a Lackey hand, it's risky. I have my own Vile, though, that can get up to Plague Engineer. All right, please don't have Lackey. Yeah, just passing the turn. Yeah, we were not drawing the answer to Lackey there. Aether Vial, let's go. Rashad and Port, that's fine. I have Aether Vial in play. And this time I actually have creatures to put in with it on 3, eventually. No, someday. Porting me, fine. Counter on Vial. Play my land, play Shadow Spear. Kind of just like exposing out to Meltdown here, but I'm also just using my mana, investing in the future. I can cycle Shark Typhoon, just make a 0/0 Shark just to draw a new card. If they port me this turn. Patron. Alright, what are we looking for? Okay, if I draw a fetch land, a black source, I can just jam Plague Engineer here, and that insulates a lot of the worst things that could happen to me. Going for Trash Master. Okay, that's pretty good against my deck. Come on, fetch land. Fetch land, fetch land. Oh, yeah. It's even the Polluted Delta to make me feel like it was a black source the whole time. Because that's how Magic the Gathering works. Engineer. That's a good start. Aiming Goblin. That's one less Goblin to throw at me with Trash Master. And getting this in before the Trash Master lords up the squad was a big deal. Vial's going up to 3, which gets Lin Sivvi. Alright, we're going places. Maybe. We'll see. The fact they tutored up Trash Master makes me think they don't have a Meltdown. That's nice. A Wasteland, okay. Taking out my Saga before it gets to tutor, that makes sense. That means they're not trashing me this turn. Goblins they could cast that don't die immediately include War Chief, Pile Driver, the other Lord, the +1/+1 and Haste Lord. Or they could just port me into my Aether Vial some more. Munitions Expert and Gem Palm Incinerator don't do anything. Alright, there's the War Chief. It's time to draw the other Plague Engineer and Violet in. Extreme Violence. A white source also gets me Prismatic Ending. Another Vial. Okay. I can equip Plague Engineer with Shadow Spear, but I think getting the other Vial in is going to be better. The War Chief lets them cast Trash Master, and it is a Goblin they can use to kill my Aether Vial. They were so inclined. Not having a white source or a Swords of Plowshares, scary. Shalak Mons, okay. That's a 1/1. Whenever a Goblin dies, they can deal 1 to any target. Oh no, maybe I should have. Oh wow, yeah, this is gonna... Alright, yeah, they're clear from pain here. They get to kill my Plague Engineer and ping me. Yeah, that's good shit. They're starting to dig out of it. Yeah, this board state just flipped on me. Now the question is Lin Sivvi better as Lin Sivvi, or do I just want to like block one of these assholes? And I think the answer is, oh wait, she's a 1/3. Oh yeah, that's cheating. Thought she was a 1/2 this whole time. 1/3 creature. I'm gonna play with fire here. Just block to absorb 2 damage. I don't think they have a way to come up with 1 damage easily. Okay, now my vial on 3 is going to be racing towards Yorion. And the punish is if I draw Plague Engineer. But I really want a white source right now. What I want to be doing with my mana this turn. Okay, found a... Alright. I found 1 Rebel that can come in off Vial. And I can search for a 2-drop. I could get the Whipcorder. Is it time? I don't have white mana to tap Whipcorder. They could Muxus me here. Oh no, I feel my trophy drifting away. We were doing so well, but they got 1 goblin through the engineer, and then I couldn't capitalize. And here's Trash Master. They just want it to be a lord. Do they want to start trashing me? They can kind of do both, and like the Shalik is pretty rough. Okay. I'm gonna activate Lin Sivvi. That's definitely happening. Searching for Whipcorder. It's literally just a 2/2 creature right now, and that's great. If I set up a double block anywhere, it becomes pretty awkward for them. I have to decide what card I don't want in play anymore. Like, they can sack a creature to ping Remotion Sergeant before damage, but they're losing a creature. It's a 2-for-1 either way. So now I have to decide if combat damage just resolves, what creature do I want out of play? It's probably Pashalik. No, it's Trash Master. That thing's doing the most damage right now, both like actually and to my overall plan. Okay, there's that block. They can't cycle Incinerator or cast Munitions Expert right now. If I were them, I'd probably sack War Chief to ping Sergeant. Yeah, sacking War Chief. Yeah. Or, yeah, they sacked War Chief to destroy Aether Vial, which pings Sergeant. Yep. That is the play that I would have made. White Source still plays here. Oh, right. They have this stuff going on. Alright, I'm just going to cycle a Shark Typhoon for 0. Oh, wait. I don't want to do that. I want to activate Lin Sivvi. Yeah, right. Or I could search for a 1-drop Rebel. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just get another Remotion Sergeant. I think having mana available, like the out to draw a land and equip Shadow Spear, is a big one. Standstill. That's almost good. Damn. Alright. Rashad and Port's so good. Yeah, their hand needs to be blank, and it needs to stay blank while I draw well for me to win this game. I'm so far behind. And they're just cracking their 6th land right here. We're getting muxed up. I'm just going to take 6 from combat. Whatever ends up happening here, just having more creatures in play is going to be important to it. My life total being low is a problem for slinging and like haste considerations, and Pashalik's in play already. Like there's a lot to manage, but I think just having this creature around was worth it. They can also play just literally any goblin and pick off my Shadow Spear or Aether Vial, and also Remotion Sergeant for free. Okay. They sacked Pashalik Mons to its own ability to make 2 goblins. That's wild. I guess doing that to like just clear my Vial and my Shadow Sphere makes sense, and they're just like, okay, bet. Alright, there are more Remotion Sergeants in my deck, so I'm going to keep searching for them. Alright, there's 1 left in there. Still looking for a white source over here. God, like if they had anything to do with their mana, they clearly would have done anything other than sack Pashalik Mons to itself, just to like clear my Aether Vial. Like, their hand is bad right now. If I could do anything to start pushing ahead here. But as soon as they break it open, like any creature here, any like matron or ringleader or muxus or whatever, just that one also is pretty good. Currently doesn't have haste, doesn't need it. Yeah, I'm dead here. Now it's definitely too late. There's no outs here. The trophy's stolen by some gobos. At least we had a really great match against them. Oh, they had a 2nd port as well. Alright, yeah. We're dead. GG's. They played well. Goblins is a tough matchup for decks like this. I had my Plague Engineer, couldn't capitalize, didn't buy me enough time to actually do anything. Missing land drops, bad news. 4-1 though, with Rebel still, Yori on Rebel still in the year 2022. I will, even though the Rebels did come up in the last 2 matches, like they did actually come up, the tutoring was relevant, all that stuff, where they did nothing except get in the way for the first 3 games. Ultimately, and like we knew this going in, at no point when Brady sent me the deck or when I was building it was I like, wow, we're really onto something here. I think this is going to break Legacy. We know what we're doing. But in all seriousness, we just 4-1'd, narrowly missed a trophy. If the Rebels, like, I spent a lot of time in that game 3 against Goblins, just like deploying Remotion Sergeant and drawing Aether Vials that like aren't even good in this deck, and like all of those things were part of a package that if these Rebel cards weren't in the deck would have just been removal and counter spells or more lands, all of which were problems in that matchup. So there are 3, 4, or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There are 18 slots in this deck that you could just turn into good legacy spells, and we narrowly missed a trophy with 18 bad cards in the deck. I think that's a big sign that Sharkstill and Currency Converter, big upgrade to this deck as well. Like, Sharkstill still fucks. If we just had like Timeless Dragons or not Yorion, if we were just a 60 card deck, there's 18 cuts for you. There's something here. It's not Lin Sivvi, but there is definitely something here in this pile, in this choice, in this archetype, in the shell. I have another league coming up. It's a dealer's choice from one of the Patreon subscribers that they told me to play either Vintage or Sharkstill. And after this, I might revisit 60 card Sharkstill, or it might still be a Yorion deck, just without 18 dead slots in it. Yeah, there's something here. I am extremely impressed by the performance of this deck, and the Rebels had very little to do with it. But Standstill, still an amazing card. Wandering Emperor, really great. Still have Shark Typhoon. Shark Typhooning into Currency Converter might now be my new favorite thing to do in Legacy. This was great. Brady, thank you for asking me to do that. A lot of important lessons were learned, mostly that Shark still rules. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my links to Patreon and all that stuff in the video description. Go buy a shirt from Coalesce Apparel. Use the code BoshNRoll for 10% at checkout. And I will see you next time.